Within my program, Pronunciation Pro, we do a book club about every other month where we gather together our pro community and we all read a common book. This last month, we read this book called Unmuted by Heather Hansen. And I love her subtitle. It says, How to Show Up, Speak Up, and Inspire Action. We had a great discussion about these concepts from this book. There are some incredibly powerful concepts that I want to share with you today so that you can unmute yourself and get your voice out into the world. So there's one quote from Heather Hansen that I really think sums up this in a beautiful way. She says, "The only way to conquer challenges the world has never seen is with ideas the world has never heard. We need new voices, new perspectives, and new leadership. We need you unmuted. Whether you're at the beginning of your career or 30 years in, this book will help you become a more conscious, confident, and connected communicator. What will it take for you to show up, speak up, and inspire action in the world, in your organization, or even in your family and friendships? Can the world afford not to hear your voice?" I love this rally cry that Heather gives. She really is calling out all of you to bring your voice to the table. Bring your expertise, your experience, your understanding, because there are challenges the world has that only you can solve, that only you have the understanding of how to fix, how to solve, how to improve these situations. Okay, we need your voices. And I feel very, very passionate about this concept of unmuting, really getting your voice out there. And how can we help you get your voice out there? That is the work that I am doing, is figuring out how can I help you to be able to get your voice out there. So let's go through some of these concepts from the book that really help you unmute. So in this book, she shows this Venn diagram. So let's take a look at this Venn diagram together. There are 3 circles to this diagram. There's conscious communication, there's confident communication, and there is connected communication. So when all 3 of these are working together in kind of a harmonious way, then there in the middle, you see unmuted. That's when we can create this unmuted environment or setting for you where you feel like you can unmute and you can successfully get your voice out into the world. So let's talk about each one of these areas and how we can build and improve in these areas to unmute. So the areas that you need to work on are going to be unique to you. So let's really talk about it and dive in. And I want you to be thinking for yourself, what is it that I need to do to improve in any of these 3 areas so that I can develop that confidence to unmute? Let's first talk about conscious communication. Conscious communication is talking about our perception of others and our perception of ourselves. Okay, so the way that you see others and the way that you see yourself. So this is really about awareness of your communication style. Self-awareness and awareness of other people and other cultures. In this diagram, it says self-aware and culturally intelligent. Okay, how aware are you of other cultures, and what is your IQ or your cultural IQ? How aware are you of seeing other people, other cultures, and being able to recognize kind of the workings of that culture? And how aware are you of yourself, your own mental state and process? Okay, so as we get more conscious and aware of our communication, then we have more power to speak up. Then let's talk about confident communication. This is an area where I work with my students a lot on. It's self-confidence. It's communicating competently, okay? Communicating effectively. So I work with my students at Pronunciation Pro and on my channel here, and definitely subscribe if you want more tips and tricks of how to improve this confident communication in English. But this area of confident communication is How self-confident are you? What is your mindset around the way that you speak and what you have to offer, the value you have to offer? And are you able to communicate that effectively or competently? All right, so there is a skill here that needs to be developed to communicate with more confidence. The third circle there is connected communication. This is having strong human skills and is relationship focused. That interpersonal relationship that you have with other people. How do you connect with other people? And that's something that I love about communication. And when you build those communication skills, is the purpose of communication is that connection. How strong are we able to connect with other people through our communication skills? Okay, so how strong are your human skills and those relationship skills with other people? All right, so we have these three circles, these three areas of communication. And you'll notice there that, when you're conscious and connected but not very confident, you're going to be too soft. You might be friendly, but you're going to be undervalued in that situation, okay? Because your communication, the confidence in your communication skills are not strong enough to be able to really speak up and speak out. So you may be undervalued. Even though you have so much value to offer, if you're not confident in your communication, then nobody will really know. Nobody's going to have that understanding of what you know unless you're confident to communicate it. Okay, so conscious and connected but not confident leads to being too soft. Confident communication and connected communication, but without conscious communication, leads to being too loud. So you may know those people, you may be that person or be those people who are always talking and they're saying all their opinions, they're really powerful but somewhat disliked. The feeling of them is they're too strong, they take up too much space or they're too much in that setting. That's because that conscious communication is not there. They're not aware of themselves and they're not aware enough of other people. So maybe this is you, that you fall into that category. Then the third place is you're conscious, you're aware of other people, you're aware of yourself, and you're confident, but you're not connected. So in this space, they say, you're on mute, you're fearful, and you're ignored. Okay? So that leads to not having that connectedness, that human skill, those relationship skills, but being confident and conscious kind of leads to that result. But when we can bring all three of those together, then we create this space of being confident in your communication, being aware of yourself and aware of other people. You're having that cultural intelligence, and you're connected. You have these human skills. Okay, that is when we're really going to maximize that place of being unmuted. So as you assess yourself and where you stand in these three circles and where you might be, maybe too loud, on mute, or too soft, go ahead and take a look at that. If confident communication is something that you need more of, then either come join us at Pronunciation Pro, watch more of my videos. This is something that we really stress and emphasize in my program. Today, I want to focus a little bit more on that connected communication and go through a few of these human skills that build more of that connection. Heather goes through these 10 skills in more detail, but I just want to bring them to light because that skill of using communication to connect you with other people is such a powerful skill, and I want you to be able to have those skills. So number one, these human skills that build connection, number one is showing humility. Okay, showing humility. Now, this is something that I feel like really comes very easily to so many of my students because of all of the challenges that you've been through in learning English. There's a level of humility that you've developed and that you recognize that is very innate in you. Number two, acknowledging others' contributions. So being able to recognize other people as they are doing good things and that they're contributing and they're leading, they say something that really affects you or they are leading in a way. Being able to acknowledge them is a really powerful human skill. Number three, asking curious questions. Being able to get real curious and asking questions so that you can understand others in a deeper way. Number 4, encouraging participation. Okay, encourage all people to participate and get that feeling as you communicate with other people and you encourage other people to join in. That creates a lot of connection. Number 5, balancing for inclusion. This is something that you're going to be probably very, very good at, is being able to recognize that there are different cultures, there are different customs, there are different ideas and mindsets, there are different language backgrounds. And let's balance for that inclusion so that everyone has a voice. Okay, number 6, adapting to culture and context. Like I said, you are probably going to be a lot better at this because of your background and your experience. But adapting to other people's cultures and contexts is what really creates that connection. Number 7, listening. Being able to listen effectively. It's such a powerful communication skills. Listening to understand. Listening to really understand what that person is trying to communicate. Building those listening skills so that not only can you understand what they're saying in English, but understand what they're meaning and the purpose behind it. Number 8, as far as human skills for greater connection, is giving feedback. Letting people know, how their actions or what their words do for you, whether positive or negative, and being able to give that feedback in a respectful way. Okay, number 9, expressing disagreement respectfully. Hey, it's okay in communication to disagree with people, to be angry about it or, have a lot of this negative energy about it, but being able to disagree with others and express that respectfully is an incredible human skill that creates connection. And finally, standing up for what's right. Being someone who can be trusted to stand up for what's right and do what's right no matter the circumstance and no matter the fallout or whatever that means, but knowing that you can be trusted for doing what's right. So I love these three circles, these 3 areas of communication that you can really grow and improve on and build so that you can become unmuted. If you'd like to learn more about how to speak English confidently, go ahead and check out my next video, Why Can't I Speak English Fluently?